judge, also Adrian and also Hugh. Everyone's on time. That's perfect. So I think that we are ready for our first startup. But before before we have our first clean tech startup joining us, I'd like to introduce our judges. So we have Hugh McGear from Techstars with us. We've got Gabrielle Strasburger from Kercher.
Yeah, from Kutch New Venture. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And Adrian Conrad from Plugin Foundation. Hi.
Hey everyone.
All right, that's wonderful.
Hey.
So in the meantime, I will share my screen so that you can see how much time left we've got, and especially with the startups, that's very important. Not sure if you have joined any other sessions today, because this is the 10th one, the last one of today. And we have Tal here from Plastic Bag.
That's right.
Ready to present? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Just give me 1 minute to upload the. All right, I got it here.
We can see it.
All right, I'm ready. All right, so thanks for your time and pleasure to meet everyone. We're Plastic Bag, and we're here to talk about plastic. Basically, we use plastic in almost every aspect of our life. It's an amazing product. The problem is it's so amazing that since its invention in the 1950s, the annual production of plastics has grown to over 350 million tons per year, and we've accumulated over 8 billion tons in landfills in our natural environment. On a global scale, we're able to recycle about 8% of plastic waste. Another 12% is treated by incineration processes, which use high temperatures and hence high energy. The rest is landfill. We, at Plastic Bag, are turning the tide on plastic waste. We've developed a solution able to convert plastic waste back to its original valuable form. We use a unique process which allows the creation of free radicals. These free radicals are able to attack the carbon-carbon bonds of the plastic polymer and break them down to their original form. We've proved this is successful for high-density polyethylene, low-density PVC, and other plastic types. By using this technology, we're able to work in room temperature, a huge economic and environmental advantage compared to competition. We're able to treat all plastic types, including PVC, mixed and contaminated, and we're able to reduce and even eliminate CO2 and other emissions. Now, the plastic to fuel market is going to reach $2.3 billion by 2026. There are a few driving forces that will push this industry to become a $2 billion industry by 2026. The first is China's decision to stop waste import in 2017. And on the other hand, we have consumer awareness and their demand for circular economy processes. In 2021, we plan to build our first pilot. This will be done in partnership with landfill sites, and the end products will be sold to refineries and other oil companies. By operating 3 of these conversion units, we'll be able to reach profits of $10 million with an ROI of 3 years. We're a team of, we have a very strong technical team, and we also have collaborations with academia in Israel. And we've reached a POC. We've reached important partnerships in the past year. Our IP status is in national phase in EU, China, and the US. And the next step for us is gaining a $1.5 million investment to bring this to our next stage, which is a semi-commercial plan. We've won a few competitions lately. Over 250 companies were chosen for a collaboration. In this collaboration, we are providing oil for Shell's refineries. We hope you'll also join us by turning this into this. Thank you.
To let you know that the Q&A session is now, it's already started. So if any of the judges have any questions, please ask. Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I stopped the clock, so no worries, Tal. Yeah, it's the Q&A session now. All right. So if you judges have any questions, now it's the time.
Who would you approach as your target customer, actually?
So our beachhead market is the treatment and landfill sites. Basically, these sites receive thousands of tons of plastic waste and are looking for alternatives to landfilling and creating profits. So that's the first beachhead market for us. The next step would be decentralized waste manufacturers, agricultures, factories, and other waste producers, which are looking for alternatives to their treatment fees, treatment and landfill fees. So first beachhead market landfill sites, and then go decentralized.
All right, thank you.
I want to ask you about the contamination. So obviously the plastic that is stored in the landfill now is often contaminated with other substances. How do you dealing with that, and what big is the impact of that on the fuel that you might produce?
All right, so good question. Basically, we say that contaminated and mixed plastic waste is something that the industry is not dealing with, and we can. In our process, we take in contaminants and mixed plastic waste. We're able to take out the end product, the crude oil, and remain with the sludge being contaminants and other issues. As far as the end product, we're able to say that it's the same as crude oil, which is around $60 per barrel.
That was going to be kind of relevant to my question, Tal. What kind of price point are you competing with? Where do you position yourselves in the market here?
All right, so that's also a good question that we try to reach a benchmark for this question, and we've been in contact with a lot of pyrolysis plants which generate crude oil from plastic, and they all say that we can benchmark our price for the price per barrel, which is not today, but usually it's $60 per barrel. We've also reached important benchmarks that waste manufacturers are willing to pay us for the treatment. So on that aspect, we have a few LOIs that are willing to pay us $130 per ton, which more than covers our costs.
Can you just, I mean, the product seems fascinating, or sorry, the technology seems fascinating. Can you talk about IP or any unique patent here?
Did you hear the question? Tal, is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the connection is a bit weak. Can you say that again, please?
Yeah, sure. The technology is absolutely fascinating, but I'm not too sure about the space. You talked about other kind of providers. How does your product differentiate? Do you have IP that backs it?
All right. So the plastic to fuel market is dominated by thermal breaking of plastics. So if you look at pyrolysis or gasification, they use 600 to 1,200 degrees to break the carbon-carbon bonds. We're coming and saying we can do it in a completely chemical way, which has never been done before, and that allows us to work at room temperature. Room temperature under 100 degrees makes us more economic and more environmental. So in penetrating the market and coming with something new, that's our strong points. And the IP is already a national phase, as I said, in Europe, China, and the US.
Thank you, Tal. Time is up. We have to dial in another startup.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tal.
Yeah, if Tal would like to say something, I'm not sure if you can hear us. If you'd like to add something, you can write it in the comments section here, and all judges will have access to it, so no worries. And we have another startup representative here. Hello, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Super. So are you ready to present?
Well, you have the slides over there?
Not yet. You have to share your screen. It's the third button that you can see in front of you.
Yeah.
With
And
the
I hope,
desktop.
okay, so you can see it now?
Not yet. Are you using a Chrome browser?
I'm using, let me see here. Or
So
I can do it without the slides if you
yeah,
don't
if
mind, and you
possible,
can.
I would highly appreciate that. So let's begin.
All right, so we can move on. Yeah, my name is Bo Hammarlund. I'm one of the co-founders of Epiluvac, and we design and manufacture power electronics reactors. We make semiconductors for power electronics and micro LED and the material for 5G amplifiers. And Epiluvac is actually an enabler for the green electrical revolution. We make the equipment that makes it possible to make, for example, silicon carbide transistors for electrical vehicles, like the one that Tesla already started using. They use silicon carbide and gallium nitride in various positions in the car for running the car and charging. Also, a very important application is the intelligent distributed microgrid. Traditionally, you have a power plant and you distribute electricity over lines to the households and industries, but nowadays you're going to have complicated structures with wind, solar, batteries, and biopower, and you need to have quite a few new transformers in all these points where you connect the grid. And silicon carbide and gallium nitride actually is growing very fast now, since they have these very big applications. In fact, it grows like 45% annually, and both of them actually. And the growth of the epitaxy equipment market is equal as fast. And in 2026, anticipated that the market will be around 5 billion euro. So we have just now released a new platform, a brand new platform, unique, and this will give the manufacturers like Infineon and other companies a unique possibility to make better material. And we also added, so we can expand this platform around the number of reactors to move around the wafers and make very good materials for these high power transistors. We look at our annual sales, and we think that around 2026 we'll have a total sales of about 80 million euros. And now we're looking for 3 million euros. The pre-money value is about 12 million. And we want to hire more engineers, expand our sales and marketing, invest in in-house spare parts so we can have shorter lead times, and also install one reactor in the laboratory to develop these chemical processes for our customers. Yeah, thanks. That's it.
Much. Now it's time for the judges for the questions, if you have any.
So
Why-
you mentioned the
Sorry, Adrian, go for it.
So you mentioned the growth of the market,
Yeah.
and it will reach 5 billion by 2026. So with the high growing markets, usually incumbent is reacting as well. So how do you see yourself comparing to other companies, and who you actually compete right now with?
With this type of reactor that we develop, which gives the best material, we only compete with one company in Italy, LPE, and one company in Japan, NuFlare. And and we think that we have a superior technology, a new platform, which allows them to go to the next generation of bigger wafers and also keep control of the material much better than they do today. In fact, they already told us this is the ultimate reactor.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question is why is your team uniquely positioned to succeed with your mission here?
Well, okay, at least we before the competition in terms of developing new technology, we went away from we call it RF heated reactor, which limits the size of the wafer that you can grow your epitaxial layer with, and we went to a resistive heater, so we can independently vary the temperature over the graphite cell. So that gives us an opportunity also to load much larger wafers, in fact, up to 200 or 300 millimeter wafers, which is state-of-the-art silicon technology today.
Thanks.
Okay, probably. I guess you have overcome different barriers in your development as a team so far. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what you have learned so far as a team?
Yeah, we collaborate together with Linköping University, and we already delivered 2 reactors, and they were extremely pleased with the reactors. So we sell for about 1 million euro every year, and we brought in some investors, and now we're looking into searching for more money so we can actually build our own reactor and develop the processes to get better paid for our product. And basically we charge them 1.5 million euro for 1 reactor, and they pay upfront, so we don't really need too much cash. They pay 60% before we ship out the reactor. So for us, it's a pretty good industry, and it's not that easy to make these reactors. There are very few competitors actually. And also we have already been approached by some of the major players in the semiconductor industry. I mean, we're talking about companies in the US with 200,000 employees, and they're very interested to basically acquire us to plug in a slot in the product portfolio they don't have.
Okay, I see. How did you recruit your team? I guess that's quite a specific knowledge one needs for that.
Yeah, they started 1991. They were acquired by another very big company in Germany. They almost went bankrupt, and they closed down the location in Lund, and they called me up and asked me if I wanted to start up a new company, because I already sold my company a few years ago, so I had some cash to
Unfortunately, we have to. The time is up, Bosse. So thank you very much. Yes.
All right.
If you'd like to
Thank
add
you.
something, you can write it in the comment section. Yes, and we should have our next startup dialing in. Yeah, that worked. Hi, Piotr.
Hello, welcome.
Are you ready to start?
I am ready to start. Yes, just wait for,
Yeah,
please, for, yes.
Screen. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I'm ready now. Okay, thank you very much. It's clear that clean tech sector and wind energy and renewable energy sector is growing classically. My name is Piotr Magalski, and this development makes me very happy because I am the co-owner of WindTech, a startup dealing with hardware innovations in wind energy. Generally speaking, wind turbines are decent machines, but not free from some issues. Well, they can work more efficient, they can be more quiet, and that are the issues that we are fighting with. We can increase production from existing resources. We can reduce the noise emission, and we can make turbines work more efficient, increasing profits for our customers. We do this by aerodynamic optimization of the wind turbine blades. We simply add some tiny plastic details that reorganizes the blade, the flow around the blade, so the aerodynamics works much more efficient and turbine makes more power. We are already selling the vortex generators, small details that give the increase of power of 2 or 3%. We sell them for 10,000 euro approximately for medium-sized wind turbine, which means that the return of investment for our client is 2 years. That is quite a deal because they work for next 8 years. And we have a couple of different products in research and development state that are the serrations that can deliver much more power increase, up to 6%, and they can give noise reduction by half. And we are research and developing winglets that are quite an ultimate. They can give energy boost up to 10%. So we are looking for clients for vortex generators, and we are looking for investment for research and development of serrations and winglets. And the main attraction here is the market, because in wind energy, generally in energy sector, the market is the attractor, the volume of the market. Calculations of the market in Poland just for the one product that we are selling right now shows that the market value is 60 million euro. And because the situation in wind energy sector in other countries in Central Eastern Europe is quite similar, we can calculate the market value in other countries, Central Eastern Europe countries, as 108 million euro.
Piotr,
quite...
I just wanted to let you know that now is the Q&A session and that judges can join us.
Yes,
if you have any questions.
I would like to ask you about accuracy and like a lifespan of your product, because we all know that the climate is changing and the type of wind, the strength of it is changing as well. So how does your product will work in 5, 6, 10 years time if the climate will change significantly? Do you have anything that you can tell us about it?
Yes, of course, but the changes in climate will not affect as drastically the wind. When we talk about the climate change, it's more about the extremes, more about the temperatures. So the wind will not change so drastically. Of course, we will see much more this, as I said, drastic events like extreme wind situations, but the general wind climate will not be as much affected as other parts, as other aspects of climate.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to know, if that like the extremes will have like a major effect on your product.
Well, the answer is quite engineering. Probably in close future, all the standards will have to be reviewed exactly for the 50 years maximum wind speed, let's say. But that's just an engineering aspect of it. It's not a big deal as far as I see it. And I'm a wind engineer, so that's, I think that's the answer.
Thank you.
How about competition? How did you know that there's a place for your company?
Yes, of course, it's not holy grail. We have competitors. We have a couple of similar companies one similar company in Germany and in Denmark. But if you ask about our advantage, well, we make our add-ons out of 3D print, which is quite a good technology for first of all for prototyping. It can give some savings in production, because you don't need a form for injection. You can tune the design exactly for a specific turbine, and finally it opens a couple of the research and development paths for example for integration with sensors. So we are quite sure we can find our place.
Piotr, my curiosity is around IP, and it seems that you're still at a stage of printing for a customer's needs potentially around how they might get the most out of a turbine. Would that be right to say?
I would like to hear the question once more. Sorry.
Sorry, Rosie. Do we have time? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can make up for the 20 seconds that Piotr didn't hear.
Okay. Are you
No
in a
problem.
position to kind of roll this out, or are still at the test phase where you print this, 3D print this and then get a customer's feedback on it? Or what particular stage are you at?
All the subsystems are tested in the conditions like in the environment. So we have tested several subsystems differently, separately. Now we have agreed. We have at least 3 clients that wants to install the pilot. So that can be TRL something like 6 or something between 5 and 6.
Okay, is that enough?
Yeah, that's
here?
cool. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
you so much.
Thank
We
you very
have
much.
another startup waiting. Thank you. I can see Vault Network is joining. It should be, the startup should present in a few moments. Yeah, I can see.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear us?
Yeah, finally I hear you.
Okay.
So how should yeah, I see that starting the presentation. Okay. Just
ready, steady, go.
Yeah, ready, steady, go. Just
all right.
System is asking to allow.
Yes.
Just share the screen, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So you see, yeah, my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vault Network is on the stage. So maybe you already heard that during coming 10 years, EV sales will grow exponentially, and as EV adoption increases, the demand of public charging points will skyrocket as well. But we have charging infrastructure development still in slow line. And for example, in EU, only 60% of residences will be reliable only on public charging stations. We don't have access to private parking. Yeah. So that's why we came up with a solution connecting parking place owners and neighbors around. That way we'll solve the main problem of high cost of public charging station and complexity of installation and management. We can share charging point ownership between neighbors around. As well, our platform will provide necessary information for location situation assessment. And in case you one day will, for example, sell your apartment or would like to move to our location, you can trade your ownership or to charging point as well. So how it works? It's quite simple. With location assessment tool, we instantly getting main KPIs of that location, yes, and then follows on-site inspection and final estimate preparations. After that, we can run fundraising campaign between neighbors around. After we'll have goal, after we'll reaching the goal, we can start the installation process with third-party partners. Yes. Yeah, so our main our solution is one of solution is as I mentioned, location assessment tool. It's we're using from my previous experience with big data analytic for charging network planning. We use it for municipalities and our B2B customers. As well, we're combining the University of Applied Science, Amsterdam University of Applied Science knowledge.
Sorry to
So-
interrupt. I just wanted to let
Yeah.
you know that we are in a Q&A session right now.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 3 minutes. That passes
Oh.
quickly. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
so if there are any questions from our judges, I'll resume the time.
Okay. Stop. Just 1 minute. Stop.
So you're focusing. Oh. Sorry.
Go for it.
Sorry,
Adrian.
Hugh. Now your turn.
Yeah, wondering what stage you're at the
Yeah,
moment.
we actually have potential clients in waiting list and want to run our pilot project. So we are looking to secure investment that we could run our pilot projects not for 1 day, but for let's say a longer period.
And can I just ask what the business model would be then? Are you still trying to find that out from the pilot?
No. The business model is very clear. We will earn the commission from hardware and installation fees. Yeah, from hardware sales, installation fee. Because
Okay.
for hardware manufacturers, we'll shorten the via sales channel. It's fair, and yes, and for third-party partners, installers, we provide labor. So that's normal. As well, we can collect little fee for payment management, because we have, let's say, mobile application and all the backend management.
Cool.
Okay. Questions?
Yeah. So as this is quite a location-based service, what is the expansion strategy?
Yeah. So actually, yes and no. It's we are trying to build it like a platform that we could expand it in any location. For that's why we presented that location assessment tool, which is with this help we can estimate every location. It's for us it doesn't matter.
So you could directly start worldwide, or
not so not so fast. First things goes first, because you need to allocate, let's say, your also supply chain, third-party installers, everything. It's not so easy. But yes, we can. Let's go from one market to another and so expand.
Okay.
We are trying to develop it like a platform, not just that like a ordinary hardware sales or installers.
Okay, I see. What is the feedback of customers so far?
We like that we are solving their problem of that for location parking lot owners. For that the problem is high investment. Yes, so we are reducing it to minimum. For example, our let's say clients which are in waiting list, the hotel and the office buildings sharing the parking lot. Yeah, and both of them would like to have, but who will pay for that installation? We can solve that for them. And there are a lot of let's say, let's look at each roadside. A lot of businesses would like to have charging points, but we can share it with the cost of it, share it in between with neighbors, residences who are living around. Yes. So this is the main idea.
Thank you very much. Time is up. We are slightly delayed, so we need to dial in our next startup. Last startup of this hashtag 10 cleantech startups of the Great Pitch Contest semifinals, and last one to pitch today as well. And yeah, we so thank you very much. And
Yeah.
if there's anything you'd like to add, you can add it in the comments section.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Hello, can you hear us?
Hey, I can hear you very well.
Good. Are you ready to pitch?
Yes, everything ready from my side. I will not show any slides because I'm over the phone,
Okay.
but I think we can manage and I can send slides later.
All right, you can feel free to start now.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Mihkel. I'm from Superhands and we are located in Estonia. And what we are doing is that we are increasing efficiency and feasibility of solar power plants using AI technologies. And what is the pain of the customers? Why they need this kind of tools is that compared to recent years, all the world, especially in Europe, is going to the auction systems. So in order to actually build the plant, you need to get the contract from the government, but the government is giving the contracts out for the lowest bidders. So all the efficiency and benefits and the increase of yields customers have, or less costs, the more competitive they are, or they can return the shorten the time of investment. So that's why this kind of solutions are either make or break for the deal. And we actually started with this topic in November. Initially, we were delivering the data from the sites with our devices, but now we have reformulated our business. So we are only focusing on software and AI solution because this is the biggest pain point. And there are these kind of alternatives as well available on the market, but mainly they are either outdated technologies, they are dependent for the vendors. For example, ABB has their own solution and Huawei their own and so on. But our tool can work regardless of different equipment or vendors used at the sites. But for that reason, it's universal for the operators. And our AI will have 4 levels. It will start from very basic visualization and overview of where the park is compared to competitors and general market presence, just to get to insight, are you losing money or you're actually doing very well. And the other extreme is that we are automatically controlling the site to be most efficient, expensive, and having preventive maintenance activities planned. For the business model, it's actually a little bit under fine tuning, but we are starting right now with these monthly fees for the tool because the AI is still in the baby steps. We need to continue teaching the system and acquiring more data. But the long-term view is to link our revenues with the efficiency increase we provide to the customers. So it's win-win solution. So they win more money and we take our shares from that. And where we are now, we are mainly piloting right now in Estonia with 2 biggest renewable energy companies like Enefit Green and Eesti Gas. It's still in the very late stages, and right now it's three parks that are right now connected. But after the feedback we get to the 50 sites quickly.
Just in time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I had some other points, but I noticed the time. So yeah, anyways, it's good. Thank you.
So over to you, judges, if you have any questions.
How big is the team at the moment, and what would be key positions that need to be filled soon?
Right now we have actually, there is always plus minus, but pretty much 3 to 5 people, depending how you count. But the key need for us is actually towards sales and marketing direction. For technical aspects and even this renewable energy sector, we are covered. But just how to promote our solutions faster and to approach the customers, all these things are needing extra help.
Hi, Mikael. Would you mind talking us through again about your customer, your ideal customer?
Now we are focusing on big renewable